Hey guys, I don't really know what to say or how I want to say this or where I want to start off, but I want to start a conversation about suicide. I want to start the conversation that we all need to have. Suicide is a very real and present thing. And don't worry about the minutes of this video, how long this goes for, just have a listen. I recently saw a statistic for Melbourne, Victoria, that since COVID-19 lockdown has occurred, 1,000 people have committed suicide. I know, that's such a big figure. And it really hits close to home for me. I've actually just got goosebumps because it's devastating. It's really devastating. Like, to know that there are people out there who are having these thoughts and who don't know where to turn, who don't know who to ask, who aren't receiving any questions like, how are you? And are stuck within their own mind. It's really painful to watch. It's really painful to hear about. It's really painful to see the statistics or the figures build and build and build. For me, this is a very touchy subject, and I know that a lot of people don't like talking about it. I mean, who does? Who wants to talk about suicide? But I feel as though for a society and a community to really be there for each other, you have to start a conversation. You have to start by asking, hey, how are you? Not just good thanks, but how are you mentally going? You know, are you okay with dealing with what has recently happened with this? Are you okay with COVID-19? Are you okay with being in lockdown? How are you truly going? And although it can take like a minute out of your day, for the person you're asking, regardless of who they are or what sort of situation they're in, it truly does mean the world to them. As I said before, suicide is a very touchy subject for myself. I know a lot of people, not a lot, I have a family member who suffered from it, and a friend who used to play on it, if you'd like to call it that. And for me, it's very real. It's a very real thing in the world that hasn't been addressed properly within our age group, within millennials. A lot of people that you don't know or that you do know may be having these thoughts, maybe having suicidal thoughts of either cutting themselves, of wanting to end their life, of just asking themselves, is it easier if I'm not here? Is it easier if I'm not in this world anymore? Will I stop feeling this pain? Will I stop feeling the hurt that I'm feeling? Will I stop feeling my heart being broken? These are the questions that they ask themselves. And yes, I'm not a psychologist. Yes, I'm a 20-year-old girl. But guys, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to know what people are thinking. It doesn't. It doesn't take a bachelor degree to know how to help someone. All you have to do, guys, is ask someone, how are you? Are you okay? Back when, this was in 2018, I wrote a poem about suicide and the effects that it has on not only the person enduring it, but the people around it. And I just want to, let me read something out for you guys real quickly, right? I want you to understand or try to put yourself in another person's shoes. To try and understand their point of view. And it's so hard. I know it's so hard. But how can you help someone if you don't try and see it from their way? So let me read something for you, right? The walls start creeping in, the floors start fading away, the presence of everyone begins growing distant, for alone I am. Whispers of darkness fall from the night, words of insanity creep forth, shouts of frustration echo. Let me read another phrase for you. And down the rabbit hole I go, with the walls entailing scripted messages from the darkest parts of my mind, the floors capturing all my blood, sweat and tears, the ceiling mimicking my heart with scars rigidly set in stone. I wrote this poem when something in my family happened, and I don't speak about it a lot, and I'm not going to say the story, only because of how much I guess I still feel for it. And it was someone so close to me too. Don't worry, they're still alive. It was just very surreal. And I guess not asking the question, are you okay? Really hit me. It really hit me, because I knew I could do something, but I didn't. I didn't know. I didn't know that they were thinking those thoughts. I didn't know that they were overworking themselves. I didn't know that they were in pain. How do you know? How do you know? And the only way you can know, guys, is if you ask the question. Recently, I went away with my best friend on a little weekend getaway, and aside from the banter and all the fun we had and explorations, we had some very deep conversations. And it was more than just good thanks, like what's been happening, blah, blah, blah. It was truly asking what's been happening. How are you mentally? What have you been enduring? And I guess after the conversations we had, it was as if something just lifted off of our shoulders. It was as if I had more room to breathe. It was as if I could see more clearly. Being able to open up and talk to someone you love is so valuable. Don't ever take that for granted. And if you don't have someone to talk to, guys, message me. I'm here. I'm literally here, sitting at my desk, waiting. I will always be here for anyone who ever needs help, for anyone who is in trouble, for anyone who just wants someone to talk to. Even if we're strangers and I've never met you before, I don't care. We can always make new friends. You can always have a conversation with this kind stranger. You could always ask someone something. All I'm trying to say is that what people say and how people act can often reflect how they're emotionally going. And if it doesn't, then they're damn good hiders at it. And that's the scary part. Because sometimes the people who always smile are the ones who you need to check up on. Be there for your friends. Be there for the people you love. And always check up on those who you care about. One day you don't know when they're going to go. You don't know if they're still going to be here. You don't know where you're going to be in 10 years' time, or the people around you are going to be in 10 years' time. Suicide is very real, and you have to understand that in order to be able to help. I get very emotional talking about this, as you can see. But it's very real, guys. Be there. Be there and ask the question, how are you? Be there for your best friend. Be there for your loved ones. Be there for the people you don't even know. You don't know what someone's dealing with until you ask. Much love, guys.